All right, hello. It is Wednesday. It is noon if you're on the West Coast, and that means it's time for another Courier Live. Um, Very excited to have this guest with us. It's been a long time coming. I've been using his product a lot for Courier projects, and unfortunately, the interwebs did not work out for us last week. So we are doing it this week, and I will let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, hello everyone. Nicolas. I'm a developer advocate at Typeform. I'm really happy to be here. I've been following some of the streams you did, Aydrian, and yeah, we have some interesting project to hack on today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. So we have an idea for a Secret Santa. Now, it's not going to be your traditional Secret Santa, but I think kind of the idea behind it is there. So we're going to use some cool technology from Typeform to record some video greetings. We're going to have some kind of prompt. And we're going to give it the ability to kind of randomize who gets those. So you can sign up, do your video, and then on a date, you will get a message sent by courier with the video greeting from a random person. So it sounds like it should be fun. It's nice and socially distanced because of the world that we currently live in. But we got together and we were talking and we were like, we could do this all with no code. So I know that, Nico, you just got done working on a project that you did with Integromat. So that's a no-code platform, and you were working with like French restaurants?
Yeah, so I don't know if you are familiar with the no-code stuff, but it's been going on for a little while now, and it's this whole idea that people can build software and not just like prototype, like really complicated softwares, just by connecting things together and writing the minimum amount of code possible. And so the latest project where I used both Courier and Typeform and Integromat that's in the middle, we'll show you all those different tools. It was to help the French restaurants, exactly, because they had been closed and then they had been reopened, but with like strict rules about contact tracing, and it was hard for them to put this in place. So they had to have a physical book where people were leaving the details and people were sharing pens. And when you arrive at a restaurant, you will see all the details of all the previous people that have left their contact details. So as it was not the best, so I thought I could do a simple thing where I could generate type forms, and then I could send the links of this type form that were generated to the restaurant owner, give them a QR code, print this in a really nice email, and have all the things work together. And that's what I built. And so and that was like without coding anything, just like calling APIs, point and click stuff.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm excited. This will be my first time using Integromat. I've used Zapier a lot in the past, and earlier we had a stream about sending low-code notifications using Segment. So we do have a Segment integration where you can just pipe events directly into Courier and trigger events based off of that. But yeah, let's get into this. So our no-code Secret Santa. Do we want to talk about like the high level, what's going to happen with this? So do you want to start with like, how are we kicking this off? Like, what will the user see first?
Yeah, I think so. The first thing we discussed about was we want people to leave their contact details, like just their email and like first name, and then probably a bit of questions to know more about themselves.
Okay.
And then that will happen on a type form.
Okay.
And then the second phase was them recording a message, a video, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And then for this, we'll use another Typeform service that is called VideoAsk, and it's specifically made for recording really nice, engaging videos. And then when that happens, we'll store that somewhere. And the next part was like doing the matching between the people that said, I want to receive a message, and the people that have recorded messages.
Yeah, so what we're going to have to do is after someone fills in the type form, we'll need to take that information and create them a profile inside Courier And then using the recipient ID for that profile, we can add them to a list. So that way, whenever the time comes, we can do one send to a list, and it will send everything out. But there's going to be like an interesting part where we need to do this matching. And so inside of the Courier profile, we're going to write some information. I think this is kind of the best way we can do it, where we do some kind of link to their match, so that way whenever Courier goes through and sends the message, it pulls that item in from the profile, and that allows us to grab the right link to put into their message. So we're going to use Integromat to help us with that. And then the last thing is we need to actually be able to kick off the send that's going to happen on a specific day. So I think the idea is like the Typeform will be open for a certain amount of time, and then it will close. So no one else can sign up for this, and we'll do the matching and then and update the profiles and send off the message.
Yes, it's exactly this. And the whole idea is to get you cheer up and have some good message from some people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, happy holidays.
Random acts of kindness from strangers. I like it.
Exactly.
Do it. So let's get started. I think probably we should do this kind of in the linear fashion. Like the first thing people are going to see is Typeform. So let's dive into the Typeform. So I am going to show your screen here, and why don't you tell us about Typeform, how we're going to use it, and VideoAsk, because that's new to me as well.
So maybe before I show you the actual building on how it looks like when you build a Typeform, I can show you an example of what is the interaction that people are going to have on their side. So this is like a template that we have for people that want to do surveys after an event, get some feedback.
Okay.
And the whole idea here is it's something really interactive, where people have one question at a time. They can interact with the questions. They can leave some visual hints, like we said, for the rating. And like this, they are like focused on the question that they're answering right now on the screen. There might be a bit of background noise.
You got a lot going on out back there.
Yeah, this is what happens when you live near a Safeway parking lot in San Francisco. There's always a lot of things going on there. So this whole experience, one question at a time. And let me show you. See, we're playing a lot with visuals, but this is how it can look like as well, and a lot of different options. So we'll try to bring something similar for our form.
And I bet like people out there watching are going to be it'd be hard pressed not to have done a Typeform in your life. Like before I even knew you and what Typeform was, I was like, oh, these are familiar. I think everyone has at least done one Typeform and might not even have known it. Yeah,
and the good thing that we're gonna also can play with is definitely the design, and I'm sure we can find some cheerful, joyful red and green colors that are very Christmassy. So we'll play around that, something around this. And then the second part I wanted to show you was VideoAsk. So here it's a simple VideoAsk that I made. This is how it looks like on desktop, but a lot of people interact with it on mobile. So I'm just gonna like this on mobile. Will that work? And so the idea here is that you record yourself asking the question. So instead of being a question that's text, it's you talking to the camera. It's like, hey, what's up? I'm Nico. I'm doing this project, and I really want to know if you are a dog or a cat person.
Sure.
And so they can interact and click on it directly, and then you can put some logic. So the next question that they will have, they're like, sorry, I'm hearing myself right now. Okay.
That throws me off every time.
So here now we know that they're a dog person, and the next question is like, okay, cool, but tell me more about it. And now we give them the option to share with us as the owner of this form, this VideoAsk, an audio of their experience. So this could be used in many different situations. We have people using it for interviews, for jobs. We have people using it for customer feedback. And then we have people like us that are going to use it for silly projects. But it's a really easy way for people to record themselves and have a face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, and Typeform is really cool because you can do all of that branching and come up with your own flow and and branch off based on like answers of questions. So yeah, that's really cool, and what we're going to build.
All right, so let's get started on the Typeform front.
Yep.
So here, this is our building interface. And so we have to think about the different questions we're going to ask.
Okay.
So what is relevant to ask, and how do we want to ask it?
Yeah, so there's going to be the information that we'll use when creating the notifications. So, things like, their first name. We'll need to know like how to send the notification. So if we wanted to grab, a phone number, if we wanted to send SMS, or an email if we wanted to send, if they wanted to receive an email. And really, like, we only need one of those, because then Courier can branch out and send the right notification. So I guess we'll maybe start and just with a name.
Yeah. And so we tried to make this whole thing a bit more conversational. So instead of asking for first name, it's more like, hey, how do you like to be called, for example?
Okay.
And so that will be the first name question. Then the next part could be about, we said an email, right?
Yeah.
And so here we can reuse the first question answer. And so we can say...
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So we just changed our builder stuff. So let's see if I can do this. Yes. So if you tap @ it will pop up all the different questions that were asked before this one, and you can reuse the answer of those questions. So now you can say, hey, name. What is your email address? What is your email? And so that's going to be an email address. It's going to validate that it is the right format for us. And then the next thing that we can do, we can ask for a phone number.
Okay.
And your phone number. So something like this. But right now, if we do this, and we can select the default country, we're going to assume for now that people are going to be in the US, but it works with many different countries.
Yeah.
And this is just going to check the formatting. And so right now, the way we have it, so now we can publish this and look at it. And here you have the view either on mobile or on desktop. So now we can say, hey, how'd you like to be called? I'll say Nico. And you go to the next question. And it's going to say, hey, Nico, what is your email? And I can write the email. That's all my emails.
Pick an email, any email.
Yeah, any email. And then same for the phone number. Yeah. But maybe we don't need to collect both, as you said earlier. So we can give the option on like how people want to be contacted.
So maybe we do something like, say, how do you like to be contacted, and do by phone or by email, and then move that way.
Yes. So for this, we can use a multiple choice question.
Okay.
And so, it could be, what works best for you? Or what is the best way to contact you? And so first option here would be by email. And second option will be by SMS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so now the thing that we want to do, we're going to ask this just after the name. So you can drag and drop the questions. And now we want to do some logic. So we only ask the relevant question to the relevant people. It doesn't make sense to ask the question twice.
Yeah. Especially when you're asking for information like email and phone number, right? They only want to give it to you if it's absolutely necessary.
Exactly. Yeah. So here, this is a logic visualization right now.
Okay.
And now you can say that when you select by email, it goes to the email question. And when you say by SMS, it goes to the phone number question.
Great.
And that's all.
Now, should we mark these as required, because things are not going to go well for us if we end up not getting either of these?
I feel you know your users very well. You know how internet works.
Yeah.
So I turn on the email required, and I will do the same for the phone number.
And so that's only gonna so if we skip, say, email, then it's not gonna have like a form validation because we skipped it. But if you actually see it, it's gonna make you enter it. Is that how that works?
Yes. Okay. It's required in the path that you have taken.
Great.
We'll double check this, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Okay. And I guess for the base of it, this is what we have, and then we can add some other questions about the profiling that will help us with the matching.
Yeah. So I think one thing that we needed to think about is like what is the basis for matching these people. So we're gonna have to prompt them for something, grab some kind of information. Coming up with like matching algorithms is fun, and hopefully we can come up with something very simple. I don't know what's universal that kind of like separates people out. Like there's the cat and dog questions. There's
I hate to put people in boxes, but yeah. Would be what is your favorite cookie? Like, what is your favorite candy? It's like, are you more a Snicker person or a Twix person? Are you more a Swedish fish or
I guess maybe we should I think with the holidays, there's a lot of like snacks and food along it. Maybe we should ask questions like what like if they prefer sweet or savory.
Okay.
Like, do you prefer like sweet or savory snacks?
Okay. So for this, we're gonna use, and you know what? We can make this even more visual. So we're gonna use. Where is it? Picture choice.
Ooh. Okay.
And so the challenge will be to illustrate this choice. Let me drag it. Yep, drag it too far. So now, a more personal question. Are you more? What is your
sweet and savory?
Your favorite snack? Something like this,
or what type of snack?
What type of snack
that we're keeping it general, and it's not like Doritos versus.
Your favorite type of snack.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna illustrate the different options we have.
Okay.
And we can use either Unsplash, that has a ton of image options, or we can look for an icon from the Now project.
We could have kept this very French and said, "What kind of crepes do you prefer?"
Yeah, that's different type people. Yeah, but I like the snack. So
since you have great opinions on that.
Yeah, whenever we talk about food, I guess we do. So salted option, I'm thinking about a pretzel.
Okay, yeah, that works.
That works for you? So we can illustrate this with a pretzel. We can choose a color. Let's see if I have, where will be the brown.
Ooh, yeah, that's looking good.
It's bridgely enough. And then the sweet option. What would be a sweet
Like
option?
it's like some kind of chocolate. Like, do they have a chocolate bar? Or...
Let's see. The noun project is amazing. Have all kinds of icons.
So this is just bringing back like different SVG images that can be used.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's a whole community of designers that contribute to it. I like it. This one looks good. And let's see how we can make it chocolatey. I'm more a white chocolate person.
I am too, but I get yelled at. People are like, "That's not even chocolate," and I was like, "It's in the name. It's fine with me."
Do you know there's a pink chocolate? Have you tried the pink chocolate?
I haven't tried the pink chocolate.
It's another type of cacao, and it's fruitful.
Oh,
so
interesting.
It's really interesting as well. Salty,
yeah,
sweet,
salty. That works. But honestly, like if I'm gonna have like a chocolate bar, I love the Kinder chocolate because it's got like the white chocolate in the middle and the milk chocolate outside. Yeah.
I was about to say it's because of the gift, but I heard in the US there's no gift in Kinder's eggs.
No, we don't have them. I had to like bring those back with me from Germany. I got them. So also our Cadbury chocolate is different here too. So if you want real Cadbury chocolate, you have to like smuggle it across the border.
But we're not here to talk about illegal stuff.
Nope, nothing illegal, nothing going on.
Okay, so I think we have a profiling question.
Okay, yeah, I think that's good.
Delete this one. And
let's see. Maybe we should ask something kind of generally location based.
Yes.
We could do kind of a union between like sweet and salty, but then also make sure you're not getting somebody from your region, right? So,
although it's fun to get someone
from your region, like we can kind of match it that way.
Let's see. So should we keep it open, right? So people can say where they are? Like
should we keep it open, or should we kind of like region lock them? Like they have to choose one of so many. Because if we open it up, then we're gonna have to like figure out what region that I feel like a more limited choices is going to make it easier for us to like write this matching thing.
Okay, so it was okay for me. It was more in the not really in the matching, but more in the hey, you get a message from Nico in San Francisco.
Okay,
you get Nico in Honolulu, someone else in crazy country. So you see that the word of mouth travels, and people are sending you awesome vibe from other places.
Yeah, let's do that, like some kind of location and make it a text.
Okay, so finally, that would be our last question. Finally, where are you in the world? Where are you in the world? And here in this screen, we can give a hint. Be San Francisco, California, or that would be another thing. You are in New York, right?
I am in New York, yeah.
So that would be New York, New York.
Yeah, we are coast to coast once again. Because you're currently in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So our courier office is located in San Francisco, but I'm located in New York, and so I get to see Nico whenever I come out and visit the office whenever that's possible again. So we get to hang out at the courier office and hack on courier and Typeform stuff. It's fun.
Fun stuff. Back in the old days.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So I think we have 6 questions. With one that's going to be different. So it's a total of 5. I think that's good.
Yeah.
So now, do we want to redirect them directly after this to where they record a video?
I feel like I feel like the next thing would be we should prompt them to record a video.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I will go into VideoAsk interface. So
Okay.
now this one here.
And so in preparation for this, I know you invited me into the organization, into the VideoAsk. So they are two separate apps, but I was able to like do kind of a single sign-on. So I was able to sign up for VideoAsk using my Typeform credentials, which was nice.
Yes, they leave as two different apps because it was just started as a small hack project, testing ideas and see how it will go.
Sure.
And now it's been a year. The team has grown specifically on this project quite a lot, and we have a lot of customers that are using it. And so right now they're still really separated, but you can use the same logging from the Typeform, and eventually in the future they will be more connected. So okay. The way it looks right here, I'll say it's pretty similar. You have the idea of a form or a VideoAsk, and then here we're just going to create a new one. We're going to record ourselves to the prompt, so like presenting what you're about to fill up, and then we'll see if we just do this in one question or if we ask you multiple questions. And so we can either record ourselves. I think this is always better because you have a personal vibe. And otherwise, you can use a library. And here we have a connection with Giphy and Pexels. So you have plenty of things to pick from.
And if like this becomes a big deal and we want to have some production behind it, we could record something and edit it as the prompt and upload it like after we.
Yeah, exactly. So for now, this is going to be our live test thing. And it doesn't have to be real. We may re-record it later.
That's fine.
All right, so this is the test. All right, I can use my video twice. And so here you have all the setup to decide what is your video setup, what is your microphone. You can write some notes to yourself. Hey. So like if you need a small teleprompter when you're recording,
that's cool.
That would be this. Hey folks, new project. So I will improvise something, and we'll go from there.
Basically, we just need to prompt them to record a holiday greeting. Right.
All right, let's do this. So you see, it goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, this is Nicolas, and I'm with Aydrian from Courier. We are launching a secret Santa project, and we need you to share some cheerful greetings. So send us your video, and we will send it to awesome people in the world. All right. I'll say we like it.
We're gonna keep pushing forward.
Yeah, just to go with the flow. And I will mute this, otherwise I'm gonna hear myself. And then if we want, we can have holidays, something like this. So that will add an overlap of overlay text on top of the video. You can decide when it. You can do a lot of customization around this.
So I'm going to ask you a question that's kind of, we haven't talked about this before, but we're doing a video and it has sound. Is there a way to add like closed captioning? So like thinking of accessibility?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it would be cool, if this was accessible, and like maybe we have some hearing impaired people who want to do a video that is signing.
Yes,
that's cool.
Yes, you're totally right. We've seen this in the past on some projects, and it makes total sense. Let me show you how you add the captioning around this.
Yeah.
And so for now, here is just a limitation on like how the thing is going to work, which type of answers you want people to collect. So us, we might be only interested right now by video responses.
Yeah.
You can limit this to say, okay, it's a 1 minute message. I'll say we can
60 seconds. Isn't that what TikTok users are used to?
Yeah, you know what? This is the TikTok generation. We can do 60. And so this is the basic setup right now, and we're gonna call the secret Santa. And if we want, we can collect contact details again. So we'll do the matching between the people that have filled up the Typeform and the people that have filled up the VideoAsk. Let's see if we're going to need this later. Here you get to pick the language. Why it's interesting to pick this is because we're going to transcribe the responses you get. And,
Okay.
And it's better if we know which language they're going to be recorded in. Right now, you can only have one language per VideoAsk.
Okay.
And we support a ton of different languages.
Oh, nice.
We're using APIs to translate those. But let's work it in English first, and then it will work in internationally as well. All right. So this is not creating the VideoAsk form. And I'll show you how to add the captioning. So here, adjust your settings. Is it here? Yes.
It's like, so we're 30 minutes in and we have not written any code.
No, there's a bit of setup. Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we're sticking to this no code. There's been no code written.
Let me. You can pick a thumbnail. That's good. If you don't like. Yes, show caption. Here. And so for this, when you recorded a video, we transcribed it and we tried to understand what you were saying. Mm-hmm. And obviously, with my French accent, it might not work perfectly, but you have the option to edit it and do the time coding of it.
Yeah.
So you have full control over this. And the same on the answers that you're going to collect.
Yeah. Just because we're not coding doesn't mean that we won't probably contact a designer.
Exactly. So I think that's all we needed to do on that front.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. And so we're going to take that. Is it going to be embedded into the Typeform that we just created?
We can do this, or after the form, you know what we can do? After the form has been submitted, we can redirect the user to this URL.
Okay.
And so we can do something like, so if we go in the settings, we can say redirect on completion. So once the form has been filled up, get redirected to this VideoAsk. In the video, they have the instructions of what's coming and what they should do. So,
okay.
And I think that would be interesting. And the thing that we can do here.
Answer the question that I was about to ask, because it was, how do we connect the video from VideoAsk to the Typeform response?
Yes. And so we said here that we're collecting name and email, but this is detail that we already have. And so we can pass this. I'm going to open the help center here. We can pass this as variable. So if we already have them, we're not going to ask them. So that's an advanced feature. And so it's called contact_email and contact_phone number. So we're going to do contact name. And then here, if you click on the plus, it will get the value of the question that was inserted in Typeform. And if you do here, contact email equal, you can pick up the question about email as well, which was this one.
Okay.
All right. Now we publish this, and I think this is how the two things are going to be connected. All right.
Okay.
What's our next thing?
Okay, so we prompted people to fill out the form and do the video. So now at some point we need to add everybody that entered into Courier and to a list and do the matching. So I guess there's two ways we could do it. Is we could figure out a way to where after each person submits, a profile is created. So it's kind of created on demand. Or since we're going to have a cutoff, we could set a function to run at a specific time and pull all of the results from Typeform, because we can use like the Typeform API to pull back all of the results for a form, and then loop through and create all of the profiles and add them to a list.
But maybe it's better to do something in real time, because for us it's just like it's just a small campaign, but some people might be interested to do that in real time, right?
Yeah, so we could. So would we use like the webhook feature of Typeform to call an endpoint to add the person to the profile and that person to the list? Because then later what we can do is, because we know what list we're going to use, we can grab all of the recipients from that list and pull out the information to do the matching and write back to the. There's going to be a lot of API calls, but we can do the matching and write the attribute back to the profile, so that was ready whenever we do send.
So do we need to go to Courier and create the list first?
We actually don't, because whenever you add someone to a list, if the list doesn't exist, it gets created. And right now our list API our lists are API only. So we could go in there and we could create the list ahead of time, or we can just say, the first person to get added to the list creates the list.
Perfect. So I guess this is the time where we're going to switch to Integromat, and we're going to do a bit more of logic.
Yeah.
It's not code. It's just going to be logic and connecting things together, right?
Right. So we know that we're going to use a webhook on the Typeform side, and that webhook has to have a destination. And so we need to create that using Integromat. So this is all new to me, and I'm excited about it. So why don't you show me how we deal with webhooks in Integromat?
Yes. So if you're not familiar with Integromat, again, it's a connector that's going to connect different services together. In the workflows that they have, they call that a scenario. So the first thing we're going to do is create a scenario. And this is a scenario that once you submit on Typeform, and so here they have connectors with a bunch of apps that are already there, and we can just look for the Typeform one.
Oh, there's a Typeform one.
Yeah. So we don't have to deal with webhooks. They're going to do it for us.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, because the last time we did a project, we spun up a glitch app, and we had to do all of this stuff in Express to validate everything, like the secret, and validate all that. But there's an app for Integromat that's going to just take care of that for us.
Exactly. So we selected as a triggered, we selected Typeform.
Okay.
So let's just do, so we don't want to do, all right. So we're going to select Typeform here, and we want to have so this is all the different actions you can take on the Typeform app in Integromat. Some are triggers, so things that are going to start a scenario, and some are actions, so things you can do via the API and have an action on Typeform. So for us, we're interested by the trigger for watch responses. Triggers when a new response is submitted and it's instant. So this is what we want. And then here, what it's going to ask us is to add a webhook. And so to add this webhook, we're going to need to connect to Typeform.
Okay.
And so we're going to create a new connection. So this is the Centa project. This is going to prompt us to authorize Integromat application on our Typeform account. Okay. So it's a regular OAuth screen. It tells you what it's going to do to it. So accept. Hop. So I now created a new connection. It's going to load all the different forms I have on my account. And we're lucky we don't have that many. And I realized that I haven't given a name, so it's probably my Typeform quiz because it's on the top. I click save. Ta-da, ta-da, and I click OK. And so now every time there is an answer that comes into the form we just created,
Okay.
it's going to notify this workflow.
Nice. All right.
And so now we can decide what is the next step after this.
Yeah. So the next step is we definitely need to use that information to create a profile in Courier. So we're going to be calling the Courier API because we don't have a Courier app in Integromat yet. I could look into it if you're all out there and you're interested. I'll definitely look into it.
Right. So, oops.
So we need to, I guess, run a bit of code.
Yes. So here they have. It's like the search is blocking me, so I'll do something differently. Come on. So they have an HTTP connector that lets you run. That's the one I was looking for. Not this one. I can delete the module, and I will do this. I will do add. For some reason, it's slow to run, but yeah, HTTP connector will be able to set up the different way we want to connect, passing the different headers, all the stuff.
Okay.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh man, I'm in bed with alphabetic order. Here. Well, I have to type it because I don't find it. Okay, this one. Okay, so we want to make a request, right? Is it, how do we authenticate?
Bearer auth.
Okay,
token.
so I'll say just make a request as a generic one. So you see now they are connected. So the next step after receiving the response, it will execute this request.
Okay.
Tell me, so what would be the URL that you're going to call?
I'm pulling it up here. So the URL is going to be http api.courier.com.
Try Courier or Courier?
Just Courier. We are now Courier. And then /profiles.
All right.
And then we need / and then we need a recipient ID.
Okay. So yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so in the past, and I don't know if it's available here, but I used what was called like the token. So it was like a unique ID for that response. And that works out really well with our recipient ID because it's usually referring to something from a main system of record. So like for us, the Typeform responses are the system of record.
And you can actually do this. So if you just saw what I did, here I type exactly the API URL because it's not going to be dynamic.
Okay.
But this part is going to be dynamic, and we have access. Actually, this is all the things that are listed here.
Right.
We have access of everything that is submitted in the webhook payload. And so you see the token here. So we just have to click on this, and now it's going to replace it here in the URL. Is that a post?
Yeah, we can do a post. We have post and put. Post will do a merge if it already exists. Put will replace. So I think post is fine. It's probably not going to repost with the same token, right? So
no, it's unique.
It really matters. Okay. For a header, we're going to need an authentication. We're going to have to be very careful not to share our auth token, but it's going to be bearer. Let me grab the token. Is there a way in Integromat where you can like do environment variables so we could go set the token and then use it in here?
So this is the developer in you talking, and that's something I haven't found.
Okay.
So it may exist, but I haven't found it, and it's definitely frustrating in some sense as a developer, because when you're going to reuse this variable in different places, it's frustrating. But so let's do it like this for now. You sending me somewhere else. The other way we can do this was here. There was something to set up variables.
Yeah, because don't want to expose that on the stream.
Come on.
While you're doing that, I'm going to paste it into the private chat.
Yeah, so what we can do, we're going to set up, we can do this.
Okay.
So this is probably not the best way. If it exists somewhere else, maybe it exists somewhere else. But here, you have a module that lets you set up variables that you're going to use in the flow. So in our case, this is going to be the Courier token.
Yeah, you can,
and this is where we're going to put the value. But if
let me take you off screen. So
exactly.
And then you just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, so I have it set up. Let me check that is not showing what. Oh no. Okay. Yes. Okay. You can.
And we're back. Okay.
So if we do the setup again, because somehow I didn't save it, so it was courier.com/profiles /the token. That's a post, and now we add the headers.
Yeah.
We say this is going to be authorization. It's going to be bearer, you said, right?
Bearer, and then.
And so now we can put the variable here.
Nice.
All right. So again, maybe there's a way to define this at a scenario level that is in the flow, but right now this is going to work for us. And now we need to send the data.
So we just send it as raw, I guess. Okay. Or JSON. Yeah. And so we want to pass an object with a profile key, which is an object, which will be an object. And this is where we'll put all the information about the profile. So we had them put in their first name. So that is given _name.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of first name, it's given _name. We use the OICD spec. I can't remember. I'm working on the documentation for this right now, but it's a regular spec. So
okay, so right now we can't because we haven't received any response. The thing that is showing us here is not really. It's just the structure of the form and not actual data. So I'm just going to leave it blank, and then we'll do the mapping. After sending a first test.
Sure. And then, so we'll do email is the other one.
Okay.
And then phone _number for the phone number.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. And then is there any custom? So let's do another key custom, and that's going to be an object.
Okay, so this is where we're going to pass the suite.
Yeah. And so we just, whatever we want to name that, because this is a custom bag.
You tell me.
Snack type, maybe?
Snack type, perfect. Yeah. Okay, and then we also had location, right?
Oh, yeah, location, which might be... we can just leave it in there. It's fine. I was like, I can't remember if it's in the spec.
Okay, so I'm going to save this.
Okay.
Oops. Okay, so now what we're interested to do...
Make sure that we can... I guess it's probably fine, because we need to do that. So that will create the profile. And then we need to do another call to add the profile, add the recipient ID to the list. So we need to make sure that recipient ID carries through.
Do you want to do the? Yeah, we can do the list right away.
I mean, yeah,
but right now the values are not here.
Right.
So what I could do, I'm gonna unlink this for now. I'm gonna run this thing. And so now it's waiting for an answer to come from Typeform. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the connect panel on Typeform. We're going to look for the webhook, and we're going to send a test request about the webhook.
Okay.
And the test request should have the same shape as if it was a real request. And oh, we don't see it. We don't see it here. It's hidden. Okay. So what we're going to do, we have to send a real request. So we can go on this URL. We have here for. Sure that this thing is still running and waiting. Yes. Okay, so I'll do it for myself. Okay, I like to be contacted by email. Going too fast. Haha. Hop. The email. I don't have a phone number. You see, it's asking for the phone number.
Oh, whenever you click by email, it went to phone number?
Yeah, so maybe I have something wrong in the...
Oh, well, it's because email was first. So you need to do a skip, right?
Yes, this is probably why. Question branching. Yeah. What is... Yes, here. Yeah, so
yeah.
Here.
Right.
Because what it was doing is that it was actually this. It was telling that the next question after email was the phone number, and this is not what we want.
Yeah. So we should never be able to go from email to phone number. Exactly. And whenever we say by phone number, it will skip email, and the next question after phone number is the one that we want to go to next anyway. So yeah.
All right, let's try this. So I republish it. So I should have my latest changes. And that's a new feature we added. If you haven't submitted a form, you can go back to it, and we have kept in memory what you had written before. So you don't have to do it twice.
Did you publish?
I think so. I think I did. Yeah, it's published. Interesting. The logic is always tricky. Yeah. No, I don't need a condition. Okay. So if one way to do this and not having to fill up this thing is to not make the phone number required anymore. And that will do it for now.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
But yeah, normally there's a way, and also just a heads up, this whole new builder interface that I'm showing you is live for almost everybody, and so there's might be still some bugs running around, and maybe we found one. But we're actually transitioning from our previous builder, so this is why you might be also confused, Aydrian.
Yeah, I was.
It doesn't look like what you played with before. Okay, so I like sweets, and so I'm gonna send up this form. I'm in San Francisco, California. Submit. Okay, and so now, if we go to Integromat, and you see this is where, oh no, you know what happened? How did I, so cool thing, we got redirected, that worked. But it looks like we haven't received any answer here. So maybe I've connected to the wrong form. Because I didn't
give the form a name.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Be right back while you're doing this.
Yeah, so always better to give a name to a form, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of generic names and then you get confused. Okay, perfect. So we're going to stop this and we're going to redo the connection with Typeform to make sure that it has everything that I need. Allez, edit. All right, doesn't edit. Okay. Well, we'll do that, a new one. My Typeform connection, perfect. Okay, aha. It's because I was not on the Senta project. Secret Senta, that was this one, saved, enabled. Okay, we make it run, and we'll have to submit this form again. So I'm going to switch identity right now. I don't want to be contacted by email. I will use my personal email this time. Alright, I don't want the phone number, so I can skip it. I still like sweets. And I'm based in SF. It doesn't have to take the whole thing. And now I submit. And so now has been submitted. I get redirected. Aha. Okay. And so this is, when you see this bubble here, this is the debugging part of Integromat, where you see what has been submitted. And as you see, this is what we get from the webhook payload. And they give you the payload directly, and they also map all the answers into the different questions, so it's easier to reuse. Yeah. So now we're going to reconnect those two things together. We're going to go back to our Courier API call, and this is where we're going to put the different fields. So this was the first name question here. This was the email question.
Yeah.
This was the phone number question. The snack type. And the location. All right. We're going to click OK to save this. And I guess we can add the other call to add this.
Yeah, because after this one goes, then we can add it to the list. Will we be able to pull the recipient ID from the Typeform again?
Yes. So everything that you do at each module can be reused anywhere else in the flow afterwards.
So there's nothing like extra we have to say. Just like keep passing it to the next step.
No, and also if it was coming from the first API call we're doing, here we'll have access to it. So if you were giving us a new ID on the first API call, we'll get access to it. Okay.
So now let's we're going to do a list subscribe, and I'm pulling that up.
I'm filling up all the other stuff that would be similar, like the authorization token.
Here we go. Yeah.
Up.
And so it's lists.
Plural.
Add an S there. Yeah, plural. Slash. So this is going to be the list ID that we're going to use. So let's do. I'm like, what's a good list name? So let's do.
But they're gonna be two lists, right?
Are there going to be two? No,
one.
It's going to be one list.
But it's one list, and then we put the logic depending on the profile, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So let's. So normally you could segment out your list, and you could do like list 1 dot list 2 dot list 3 and do segments. But for this one, we don't need to. So let's just call it Secret Santa. That should work.
That should work. Yeah.
And then slash subscriptions. I was like, oh wait, there's more. Slash the recipient, the token.
Okay. And so once again here, we can just click on it.
Okay.
And it will put it here.
Nice.
So we send a JSON, I assume. Oh no, we don't have to. Do we need to?
And we just do a put. So this is a put method, and it doesn't take. It's just path params. So
perfect.
We don't need to pass it a body.
Okay. And so now this is okay. If you want to make more sense, because this is just HTTP, we can say this is Courier. Add
subscribe. Add subscription. Sure.
And this one is, so you do right click on it to rename, and this is Courier.
File.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now if you want to run this again with what we just said, we turn on this thing. So now it's waiting, it's in stealth mode, so it's waiting for us. And now I think we can do what I wanted to do earlier on, which was going into the webhook interface from Typeform, where we'll have access to the debugging and we can resend the event. So we don't need to fill up a Typeform every single time.
Nice.
And our Typeform is pretty short, but it's very painful to do that. Yes, so here's the Integromat webhook that was created automatically. We can go into view deliveries, and this is the one we just sent. And I can just do redeliver. And so puff, 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 you see at every single step all the debugging stuff. And so we look at the last one. And what does it tell us? 204. Status code 204. Output.
Oh, so that's good.
That's good?
Yeah, 204 means that it succeeded. Yeah.
Okay. So now when someone has filled up a Typeform, they got added, they create a profile and they got added to a list on Courier.
Yeah.
And we didn't write any single line of code.
Nice. Okay, so I'm looking just to see if, so where's my get lists? And see if I see, I see a Secret Santa list. Cool. I'm going to, hold on a minute.
All right, is that something you do with the API, right? Is not something
I'm just looking at the API to see if, so actually if you go into data, there is a list. There's not a lot to it right now, but you should see that there is a Secret Santa list. And I'm just looking at the API for.
Ooh, yes, I see the notification stuff.
Yeah, so you should see Secret Santa in there. You just can't see the recipient.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. But I just did a call on my side, and I see that it has a single recipient. So that's good. And I'm going to grab the. Actually, let me. Here, I'll switch to my screen real quick.
Okay.
Because we can do that. Okay, so I just pulled up Insomnia really quick because I already had the calls in there. But I'm calling the list. This is the list ID, Secret Santa subscriptions, and so that's pulling back all of the subscriptions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this recipient ID, and we can go into the profiles, and we can get the profile for this recipient ID. And here is the profile that we send over. So given name, it's so we need to change that because it's just given underscore name. You have given underscore first underscore name.
Aha.
Sorry. And then we have email, phone number is empty, and then we've got the custom information. So his snack type was sweet and his location was SF. So we're good there. We created a profile from the Typeform and subscribed it to a list. So let me go back over to yours.
Yep. So I just did the update on the create profile API call. You see, it's pretty easy to do the change.
So I guess one thing to think of is how do we go, like, how does the video that they record in VideoAsk get related to the Typeform submission? Because I'm guessing this Typeform submission triggers right after they hit submit on Typeform, but then VideoAsk is something different.
Yeah, so there will be another video, there will be another webhook on VideoAsk.
Okay.
And so this is why I wanted to see if I can pass the parameters. And I think I failed because I didn't use the proper the proper convention to do this. So let me check again how we do this, how you pass parameters to VideoAsk. Yes, it's with a pound and not with a question mark. So I'll go here, I'll go edit this. I will change this to a pound, and I will go again, contact name here, then contact, what I was saying, contact email. Well,
are we able to, so I guess that token wouldn't be known at this point, right? Like,
that's a good question.
I think, like, especially if we're going to hit a webhook, because we can only pull up a profile by a recipient ID, and we're using that token ID. Like, I can't say, bring me back the recipient, or bring me back the profile for this email.
Okay, so maybe it's not available here. Let me see if it's available somewhere else, because we have another way to redirect someone after a Typeform. This is like by default every single time, no matter what happens. Another way to do this is in the ending, what used to be called a thank you screen. There is here a button where you can decide the link of it. And so here, no, here you don't have it either. Okay, no, we don't have this token available.
Okay.
Because yeah, your idea is that when they were submitting this, we'll just add it to their profile, right?
So I guess how would we, well, so for what we store for the match, would we, because it's like, what do we write, and then how do we use that to like pull out the video link? Because we need to be able to build that video link.
There's something I haven't thought about. So when they submit the video, we want to store this on their profile, and we need a way to connect the two.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be about their email. And the recipient, if we pass the recipient, when we create the profile, and if we pass the recipient ID as an email, this is not going to work, right?
It's well, because they might not choose email.
Yeah, or email or phone number.
Yeah.
What if we use here something in the middle that transforms this email into a base64 or something? And use this as a recipient ID. Because then we can pass the email to the Secret Santa and do the similar thing. We're like, okay, now we have the email, we base64 it, that will be the same, and that will be the recipient ID on Courier.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, so the thing is, the recipient ID is just a string, but most of the time you don't want to hook it as the email. But in our case, like, what if somebody said, connect me by text, and then we don't get an email? We get, then we'll get a phone number.
Yeah, so it's either or. Like the ID we get is either the email or the phone number, and that just makes a different profile. Yeah.
Because the only way that we can bring people to the VideoAsk is through like that redirect, right? Like,
yeah, or we send them an email from Courier when they sign up to the form. It's like, now it's your time to record the video, and they have a link to the video.
we could do that. So we could add another thing to trigger a message from Courier. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this, because then in the Courier stuff, you will have access to the recipient ID, and you can pass this as a parameter of.
Yes.
Yeah, that's even better.
Okay. So yeah, webhook, add the profile, add it to the list, trigger an email with the link to. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, let's add another request. This one's going to be a post. Oh man, we're going to do like a one-to-one send and a one-to-many send. We're doing all of it. So this is going to be api.courier.com/send. And yeah, it's a post. Same auth headers.
And I'm kind of stupid because I could have duplicate instead of creating a new one.
And then yeah, the body type is going to be raw JSON, and so it's going to be an object with an event key, and we just it's going to be a string. Okay. So you have an object. Let's call it secret _ Santa _ VideoAsk. So what we do is we just choose a key choose an event that sounds good to us, and then we'll map it to the notification in Courier. And then we need the recipient. So the key is recipient, and we'll use the token that we've been using.
Yes.
Okay. And then let's pass it some. So we don't have, because we have all the stuff stored in Courier, we don't have to pass it profile information. We'll pass it data. Well, do we need to pass it? Yeah, let's pass it some data, because then we can pass in their name and location. No, wait, no, we don't need to do that. That's
it's on the profile. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need to send them anything. Like the link is going to be the same, right?
Yeah, it's the same for everyone.
So we don't need to send the data, because we're not. There's nothing dynamic about this. Everything dynamic is inside the profile data, which we have access to. So to send a message, all you need is an event and recipient. Everything else is optional.
Perfect. So I guess now it's just in Courier mapping this event to an email.
Yeah. So I guess we can switch back over to me.
Yep.
And so I'm in Courier. Let's go and create a new notification. So I'm going to create a notification here. We'll call this Secret Santa VideoAsk. And then we'll add an email. I'll use SendGrid. And then we'll also add SMS, because if they chose by SMS, we should probably send them the link via SMS, because we wouldn't have the email. So I'll go ahead and add SMS with Twilio. So we'll go over here. And one thing that I did before is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set the default brand as Secret Santa. So I did create like a Secret Santa brand, and so we've got like a little logo, and we got some collars set up. And so we'll add a subject that says, I don't know, record your video, record your greeting, your Secret Santa greeting. Cool. And then we'll do some. I'm looking at the wrong screen, so it's like really it's smaller than it should have been. Okay, so I'll make this an H1, and we'll say, hey, profile dot given name. We'll add another one.
I like how this whole thing is visual, because like editing email and make it look good is really a pain.
If we're signing up to be a Secret Santa.
And I sent you the link with how you can pass the variable to it, so you can pass the recipient ID.
And we'll, there it is. And we'll say record your greeting. And the link is this guy. Copy. Okay, we'll put that in there. And courier recipient ID equals is just recipient. So, and inside the URL, we can put a variable which is just surrounded by single curlies, and or actually it's $.recipient.
Nice.
Cool. So we have so this message should be triggered whenever we send that. I'm going to publish changes. We could preview it. I can just create a quick test event, and the only thing that we're using is given name. I'll put in some test data here. I'll just put my name. Actually, I'm going to do some location. Right, that's what we go ahead.
Yep.
New York. And so I'm going to create that test event. And so you see, hello, Aydrian, or hey, Aydrian, record your reading. So this is what the email is going to look like, but we also need to do the SMS. So that's going to be as easy as we're just going to reuse. So, hey, given name, thank you for signing up, and record your greeting. There's the link. We got some nice overflow stuff. I'll make sure to tell the team about that. But now we have, it's going to send an email or an SMS based on what's being sent over. And so that's published. If we wanted, we could preview the SMS, but it's just going to be text. There's some wonderful text. You've got the recipient ID put in there too. Nice. Or it's got, yeah. So let's go and map that. So right now it's just a notification, but because we're using a custom, can you paste in the string that we used for that event ID into our chat, so I can just copy and paste it?
The string we use for the event ID.
Yeah. So in the call.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to go into settings and go to events, and I'm going to create a new event, and I'm going to select the Secret Santa VideoAsk as the notification, and I'm going to take the event string that we used in the call, and we're just going to map those together. Cool. So it's there it is. Secret Santa ask. So we're mapping that event string to the notification that we just created. Do we want to kick it off and see that email come across?
Yeah. So we'll do the same thing that we did earlier. We'll turn this on just for once.
Okay.
We go back to our Typeform webhook debug interface. We'll redeliver this event.
We got a question. What kind of gifts will Secret Santas give over Zoom this holiday? Asking for a friend, looking for ideas. I don't know. We're giving videos,
and a lot of love. We have a lot of love.
A lot of love. That's a good question. I don't know. I just had to deal with my nieces and nephews, and they sent me lists with links on. Okay. So did you? Okay. So you hit run once. Did we?
It went through all the different phases, and if I look at the last one, I get a 200 OK, and so now I have to go into my email on another screen, and else make sure it pops up somewhere.
Oh, big bucks, no whammies.
Yes, record your secret syntax greeting. Let me open it up, and I will show it to you. Up over here.
Hey, look at that. Hey,
ta-da!
And we can see, yep, the recipient ID is in there. So that's cool.
And so this is loading, but I will get into, the VideoAsk with the recipient ID. This is it. So now what we can do is connect VideoAsk. So once it comes from, when it's submitted, so when someone submitted, then we can reconcile it into someone's profile in Courier, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. We could pass that as a yeah, we can do something like that. I was like,
no, is it not what you had in mind? Sorry.
So the thing is, we would want to. I'm just trying to figure out how to like pull this, because like the Courier profile API is not like a database, so it's really hard to search. And so I'm just thinking of like how to match these together, because we could say like, give me all the recipients from this list, but then we would have to go into each profile, right? So we might have to dumb down our matching algorithm just for the sake of time.
And no, actually, you know what? Yeah, we don't need to store anything on the profile. What we can do is now create the scenario to send the email on the day that will go request into the VideoAsk API all the videos that are corresponding to this profile. And say like, oh, give me all the videos that are tagged as sweet. Give me all the videos that are tagged as...
Oh, okay. Oh, you can do that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we have to probably make some logic so it gets automatically tagged in one way or another.
Okay.
Because right now we didn't ask this question into the...
We asked it in Typeform.
We asked it in Typeform. We have it in the profile, and I think what we should have done is send it into the VideoAsk.
Yeah, because you mentioned that earlier on, that we could pass questions and automatically answer them. Yeah, so that sounds like a good idea, especially since we can use this VideoAsk API to pull those out.
Yeah, so let me add another variable to the VideoAsk link, which was snack type, right?
Okay.
And so in the email that you send, you can also send this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we can use the API to retrieve all the person that have answered with the specific snack type. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'll switch back to my screen and make that change to the URL. So I'm gonna go back into the Secret Santa VideoAsk, and I'm gonna go back into. Oh, I just realized that it says recrod. Have a nice typo there. We'll fix that. Record your greeting. And so now I need to go and add ampersand. What was the name?
What did you say? Snack type. Snack underscore type.
Underscore type. And that is going to be equal to profile.custom.snack underscore type, right? That's where we...
I think this is what we sent, yes.
Okay, I'm going to hit apply there. I'm going to go back to the preview because I want to update my test event and put in snack type. Snack type, just to keep that updated. And I'm going to say salty since you said sweet. Cool. And we'll close that. And if we look at, there we go. You can kind of see it down there at the bottom. Snack type equals salty.
Okay.
All right. And so back to you.
Yeah. So now we need the logic that will, so we say on a special day, we'll send an email to all those different lists. And yeah. So how are we going to do this? We're going to create a new scenario because this is totally different.
All right.
Come on. Okay. So this scenario that we have designed, now we can turn it on. So now it's turned on. So like if people enter the form, this is what they're going to do. And so this is going to be Typeform to Courier. And now we're going to create another scenario in my Sync Center folder. And this scenario will execute. We can do that. So we don't need anything that's scary here right now. Come on. All right. So we can do a scheduling. So we can say it happens once a day, it happens every day, it happens once a week, it happens on a specific date.
Let's do it on a specific date, right? We'll just say maybe you want to do the Monday before Christmas. That's the 21st. Christmas Eve is on Thursday. Christmas is on the Friday, but we'll do it ahead of time. So yeah, let's just say the 21st.
And we'll send this in the morning, somewhere in the morning.
Yeah, someone in the morning somewhere. It
says time zone Denver, so that's gonna be 10 a.m. Denver. That's
10 a.m. Denver. So that's is that 2 hours difference from me? Is it right in between us?
Yeah, I think it's right in the middle. It's a funny reference to pick. I have to say, it's not UTC, it's not GMT, but well, they had to pick ones. So we can do this, and then for the sake of right now, we'll just run it manually. And so the first trigger that is going to run on this date, I think we're going to have to go first, call the VideoAsk API to retrieve all the different videos that have been submitted for in this, like all the responses to this form.
This is going to be the most like intensive process because we gotta, because we can get all the things and those relate to IDs.
Actually, yeah. What should be the first thing we do? Maybe it's not.
We know who's subscribed to the list. Your API will allow us to pull out based on the answer to the snack type question.
Yep, and we can pick a random in a list.
Okay. So how are we doing this? Are we doing sweet with sweet and salty with salty, or sweet versus sweet to salty?
I was thinking matching people that have the same appetite and the same craving.
So we're gonna need one that pulls back everybody who chose sweet.
Yeah.
And then we're going to need to match them up. And what we'll do is we will update the opposite person's profile and add, I guess, the link to the other video. We'd have to put the other person's, because I can't like pull, I can't say like just stick the recipient ID of the other person in there, because I can't pull from a specific profile, I guess. So we would need to like write all that information into their profile, into the custom bag, I think. So we'd inside custom, we'd put match, and then we would put their name, their location, and then their video link, and then we could pull that out in the notification that we make.
Okay, let's try this. And so first thing will be getting the videos, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I need the developer documentation. Because I don't have this on top of my head. All right. So we're going to get the responses, question answers. Yeah. Maybe contact. Let's do this. So we're going to call here this thing. I will have to replace the question ID by the one we have. This is going to be a get. This is going to be authorization error. And I think I will have to do the same trick that we did earlier. So right now I'll leave it like this. Hop, hop, hop. So I need to go off screen for a minute.
All right. I will. Actually, while you're doing that, I'll start creating the next notification.
Perfect. So I'll get my API credential into my account.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to on the wrong window. Okay. So that's all published. I'm going to go back and I'm going to create a new notification. And so this is going to be secret Santa. We'll call it final. Names don't matter. I'm going to add email. We'll use SendGrid again. Not push. And SMS, we'll stick with Twilio. I'll go up here, and again, I'll tell it to use my Secret Santa brand, so it brings in the pretty I made. And so, again, we'll start with the text block. Nope. And we'll do a profile.given name. And so here is your message from, I'm just going to put some variables in here and we'll fix them after we figure out what we're doing here. Here's your message from name. And here's your greeting by okay. Here's your greeting by your Secret Santa, comma, name from location. And then we are going to do something like we're going to either a link or an embed. I'll just put a link for right now. We'll say view video. And I just clicked over into the brands. Okay, Secret Santa final. I'm going to go ahead and publish the changes. Yeah. Greetings from your Secret Santa. And for SMS, we'll just pick over these over. We'll publish that. and we'll wait. And I'll go. Are we ready to go back to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I will need to. You know what I would need actually.
I'm going to go ahead and map an event for this.
And yeah, and one thing I will need is like if you can record yourself as an example.
Okay.
Following the link that you have.
Secret Santa final is what we'll call the event ID, and I'll map that to Secret Santa final. Okay, so do you want to put the link to the form in there so I can fill it out and get the email?
Yes. Actually, you already have it. No, the link to the form. The link to the form. Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, the type form.
Yes.
Okay, and so we should be all set up for, well, except for those couple variables that we're still figuring out, to send the message based on the list send. So I'm going to, of course, that's in the wrong place. Come here. Just go in here. Okay. So I will be Aydrian, as always. We'll say by email. And Aydrian@trycourier.com. And then, so you did Suite, so I should do Suite for this.
Yeah, I think it works this way.
And then New York. Oh, it's still redirecting. So we'll need to turn that off.
Yes, I'll turn it off. Sorry, but you should have received an email.
Let me see the email here. There's the button. So here is my email, and I can record a greeting. That is in the wrong spot too.
There's a lot of jumping around windows.
Yeah, whenever you have like windows open everywhere, they just jump around. Okay, so here's Nico.
And we have the recipient ID and the snack type.
With Aydrian from Courier. We are launching a Secret Santa project, and we need you to share some cheerful greetings. So send us your video, and we will send it to awesome people in the world.
Oh, that sounded good. We'll record my answer. Yes.
Yes,
allow.
you have to allow yours.
It thinks it's my OBS camera. Let's do, I have multiple cameras. Okay, so there's this one. Yeah, and so I'll just hit. Hi, it's Aydrian. Happy holidays. Have a good one. Yeah. Very great. Preview. Hi, it's Aydrian. Happy holidays. Have a good one. Yeah. We're so good at this. Like improv is our jam. And then so I'm going to send it. All done. Thanks for answering. Great.
Perfect.
All right. So we'll go back to, are we ready to go back to you now?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
All right. So what I did in here, remember we have a trigger that's going to be launched on the 21st of December.
Mm-hmm.
I just run it once. What it does, it goes into the form. We pass the form ID, hard-coded it because it doesn't have to be dynamic, and we retrieve the 200 responses that were submitted, just to put a limit on this. And in here, we see the one you have submitted. There is one, and it has, so obviously this is not really readable. So what we can do is use a JSON parser to make it more readable. And so then we can extract the data there and see which ones are interesting for us. This on up. And so I did the same trick here where I set up two variables. I set up the VideoAsk token and the Courier token.
Oh, great.
So data structure, do I need a data structure? Ooh. Generator. I will do so this is where it gets tricky with Integromat and the JSON parsing. They want to know first what's going to be the payload and how it's going to look like, okay. So they can validate this. And like this, you can be strict, like you can be a bit more strict, and they can look at the different stuff. So here we're going to get the data from the first module. There's an error somewhere. Couldn't be the last module. So I'm going to pretend I'm making an API call to nowhere right now. It's going to complain. Well, let's see if it complains if I run it. No. When I run this, all right, I'm just going to call ourselves. So yeah, this is going to be a random API call to us. All right, so we get the API call here, we get and then here we see the outputs. So results, there's one result. We have your contact ID, we have the thumbnail of what you have answered, the tags, there's no tags to it. So this is where I told you that eventually, if we add something, we can automatically tag it. And then here, there's this shared URL.
Okay.
And so if I open it up, it should be your answer. Come on. It's loading. And
I'm so excited to hear myself on video.
So this is you. This is you. And then we have the different variables, the snack type, and the Courier recipient ID.
Cool.
Yep. So we can do this. And so one thing we can do is use the thumbnail as something sent in the email, and the link will be to this shared URL.
Yeah. Yeah, so passing that over. And so what we would need to do is, I still don't know how we're going to do this match, but we would figure out who the match was, and then we would update the match's profile with like a match object inside custom, and we would give it that thumbnail URL, the share URL, the match's name, the match's location, I think.
Yeah, we can
okay, let's pretend that we match something. Like, I think we're gonna have to come back to this match algorithm, how we're doing it, but let's go ahead and we'll hard code match it to one of the other ones. Yeah, maybe. So that HTTP, let's make that update a profile. So similar to the other one we did.
Yes.
And we're doing the post, so that's a merge, so that's good. That will work for us. api.courier.com/profiles, plural. Slash, let's find.
So this is going to be the recipient ID stuff, right?
Yeah. Let's do, okay, so Pedro, I'm going to paste this in.
Yes.
So we'll just hard code. Everybody is going to Pedro right now. Pedro's
Yes.
get all the videos. So if you want to set so /profile/ what I just pasted in there.
Yeah, and what I can do. No. Damn it. sorry. I could have set up it as a variable, but
It doesn't need to be a variable.
oh, man, I didn't save this. So courier.com/profiles/ recipient ID, video post. We do
Authorization header.
error up. Okay, body type, JSON, and what do we?
So it's an object with a profile key.
Yep.
And that's going to be an object. And so now we're just going to update what's in custom. So do the custom key, which is an object. And let's add a match key that's an object.
Mm-hmm.
And inside there, let's do the thumbnail URL, the share URL and the thumbnail URL.
Yep. And so I can map it directly here. There's probably a phase. So right now we only have one. So if I map it to this one directly, I can do that now.
The
next,
I would just say that.
The next step will probably be pick at random. All right, share URL, beam, and we'll pick it here. Click OK to save it.
Oh, I would also put in the name, like do name and location, and you can just hard code those as values if you want, but just so we can update the in
the match, yeah.
In the match, yeah.
So we can do name. I'll say you send it.
Yeah, that would be me.
And you send it from
location.
New York. Right.
Okay.
And so now the next step. So now we have updated the profile with the corresponding match on Courier. The next step would be
to so we would assume that like all of these steps would match up all the profiles. Like we're just doing one and we're hard coding it, but all these steps would take care of matching everybody. And so the next thing we would do would be the list send.
Okay. One thing though that I want to mention is like in Integromat there is a way to repeat. So if there's a kind of a for loop type of thing, was like if you have a list and you want to iterate to the list, this is definitely possible.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's awesome.
So now we do the list send.
Yeah,
I was trying to be smart. I can just clone this. Okay, perfect. So what would be the URL?
So yeah, take out the profiles all the way to the end, and it's just going to be send/list.
Okay.
Cool. It's a post. Same headers. For the body, you can just delete all of that. But we're going to give it a list. So it's going to be an object with a list property.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our secret Santa. Is that what we call the list?
Yeah.
Let me find it. Yeah, it's just secret Santa, all lowercase, all one word. And it's a string.
It's a string.
Yeah.
Secret Santa, like this.
Yep. And then we also need to pass it an event. And
oh, yes, that's your new event. It was Secret Santa final, no?
Yeah. I'm going to paste that in. Yeah, secret _ Santa _ final.
The naming in this project, man.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in and fixing the naming as well. Okay, and that should be all that we need. If we wanted to send data that was going to go to each one, we could, but we don't have any of that. All the data we're going to pull from the profile. So let's not run that yet. I'm going to go back. Hold on, let me pull it up. and we'll update the variable name.
Yes. Yeah, and in the email that you sent. Yeah, perfect.
And then also we'll switch it out to actually use that image. Okay, so I gotta find it. Secret Santa final. Okay, now I'll share my screen.
That is the name of the variables.
Right. So instead of name here, it's going to be
It's match. Yep.
profile.
Custom.
Oh. Okay. Profile dot custom dot match dot name. And this is going to be from profile dot custom dot match dot location. Cool. And then I'm going to remove the button here. I'm going to keep it for SMS just because we can't do as much with SMS, but I can pull in an image. And let me edit it. And so the image path is going to be our variable of profile.custom.match.share thumbnail.
Yep.
URL. Cool. And I'm going to copy this so I don't have to do all of it. And then the link is going to be share URL. And then we can set a width, and then it will figure out the height. And so now this will be an image whenever we're done. I'm going to publish the changes. And we should be able to run this, and you should get an email now.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So I'm going to go back over to yours. And now if you run this, it should go through everything and then kick off an email. It should send one to me too, because I'm subscribed, but I don't have all of the stuff. So that one probably won't be right. But
the event parameter is required.
Oh, did we not get it in there?
I said event ID for that.
Yeah. It's just event.
See, and again, easy to change, easy to try. Poof, poof, poof. 200, okay.
200's good.
All right, let's see the email. So there's going to be a new email, right? So let's go back to the inbox.
Oh, man. I can see it rendered inside Courier, and it did not pull.
What is...
So it's like the... Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna. Here we'll switch to my screen as I investigate what's going on. So if I go back to see what your profile looks like. So this is, I think this is yours.
Mm-hmm.
So it did not update that. So we actually, the reason it didn't pull them in is because inside custom here, you see that there isn't that match object. So something happened there. Let's go back to your screen and just take a look at that API call.
Unexpected string in JSON.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw that there was a comma missing.
No, you know what?
It's hard for me to see on this side.
All right. So this is what I do when I'm not sure about the JSON stuff. I go to this website and I paste my JSON there.
After share URL, yeah, there's a comma that needs to be.
Exactly. And interestingly, it didn't extract the URL. So there's probably something missing there as well. Okay, so Token has expired. Yes. So I hard-coded the token for VideoAsk. And so it has an hour span or something like this. But I'll get another token, and I don't care about sharing it because it is going to expire very soon. So here, you go into API, you go here, and so I'm going to actually, I'm going to update it here. So I will, no, I'm going to update it here. So I don't need you to hop.
Do you need to type bear? Like it used to say bear. Does it need to still say bear?
Good point. Yeah, so this is where we find out where to put variables. That's better. But because this is the first thing, you can't really put variables. So maybe the first thing to do was to put variables first. Okay, so let's try to run this again. All right, so we get the result here. Yes. We get the success here to update the profile. And now the message ID here. So please, did I receive the email?
I'm seeing queued. Maybe it's... Oh, okay. So you should have it. And what I'm seeing, it looked like it rendered everything. So
Gmail. Greetings from Secret Santa. Yes.
Yeah.
Allez.
I can even see in Courier that you opened it.
You're tracking me. Yes. So we get, this is the latest one we got. Here's a greeting.
Hey, look at that. It's got the
Aydrian.
information in there, and it's got the thumbnail. Oh yeah, that's a wonderful picture.
Yes. So as the owner of a VideoAsk, I can edit my thumbnail, but you as a respondent, you can't. So sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, that should be a link to the video.
Yes, it opens up, and this is where I'm gonna find it. Ta-da! Yeah.
So we did it with the exception of the whole matching algorithm. So if you're watching and you have a good idea of how to handle that, we're all ears. But this could be up and running as soon as we get that in place. But I also got an email, but because we didn't fully flesh out the matching and basically writing in the information into my profile, it doesn't look like this. So that information is missing. But this was fun. I think we did a lot of cool things. I think we did a lot of interesting problem-solving things, passing the IDs back and forth. We definitely did a lot with the Courier API, adding profiles, updating profiles, adding people to the list. We sent an email one-to-one. We sent an email to a list. And that part was pretty easy to do inside Integromat. It's just we'll have to think about how to do this match and get back to you.
And I think we kept our promise. We didn't write any single line of code. Everything was just a bunch of API call, talking to each other, connecting things together. So imagine, the different things that you can build. Imagine this was just Typeform. It was 3 tools already connected. So Typeform, VideoAsk, and Courier. But imagine connecting it with your Airtable, connecting it with your with like an AI thing, reconnection, whatever.
We probably could have added some other pieces and made that matching part a lot easier. But yeah, thanks for coming by. This is great. Do you want to tell people how you can be found on the internet?
So I'm mainly on Twitter. This is where I'm hanging out. So you can find me on Pixung, weird username that I've been using for the last 20 years.
PICSOUNG.
Exactly. And then Typeform and video_ask. That's our company handles. Oh, yes.
Oh. Awesome. Well, thank you. We normally we do an hour, but today we did 2 hours, but I think we got a lot done. Thank you for everybody who stayed on. This will be a blog post and a video on YouTube coming soon. And but Tata for now. Bye, Nico.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite.